dang, I don't think I've seen that many people jump on right at the start. We had 25 people just jump on so welcome to Nearing Nirvana. This is episode 84 of Long Story Short.
Hey, thanks for everybody joining us tonight. We've got a good show, and sorry we missed you last week, but we're here tonight, and we're gonna get into it. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess we'll go ahead and start this. Yep.
Yeah. Before we get started, we lost a big member of the comic community this week. This is Tim Vo. You may know him as Tim. You may know him as TiVo from Lords of the Long Box. He passed on Wednesday, and he's an OG member of the YouTube community for comic books, and it's going to leave a huge hole in what we do. He was connected closely with Cover Price, doing their top 10 in their Shakers report, and it's a real huge loss. Hit me very, very hard. This came out of nowhere, we just want to give him and his family all of our best. A real shock, but a solid guy as you're ever going to meet, and going to leave a big hole in what we do. So rest in peace, Tim. You'll be missed, buddy. He was on our show once. He made an appearance. I've lost track. Several months back. But
and I didn't get to be on that show because I was playing a show. So you got to fill in the quota for the Asian, on the panel. So I believe
the Asian representation. Tim stepped in and did his part. So super knowledgeable at comic books, and just a real positive spirit in this game right now. So, anyways, a tough one for me and a lot of members. Certainly, Laura worked very closely with Tim on his shows. She was a regular, guest on those shows. And TiVo, rest in peace, buddy. You will be missed. Hope you meet up with your buddy Mikey Sutton on the other side, and you guys are chatting comics even as we speak. So, shout out to Tim.
Yeah. Life is short, man. One thing I remember about Tim is how very polished he was. Just the content that he created. I mean, entertaining, very professional, and just a nice person. It sucks, man.
Yeah, he was a young man, and I think this surprised everyone. I mean, I was watching his show like I always do Wednesday morning on the way to work. So they do it on Tuesday night. I was watching it on Wednesday morning. I get to work. I get a text a few hours later that he had died. I'm like, wow, that's not possible. I was literally just watching him. Like, I could not reconcile in my head how that was possible. It really fucked me up for a little bit. But yeah, huge loss to the community. But he will not be forgotten. Has played a big part in the YouTube comic community, and will be missed.
Yeah, definitely one of the OGs and everything. So yeah, I didn't get to chat with him very much, but all the content I've seen was always really respectable and everything. So
yeah. We move on, but we won't forget him. He added as much to what we're doing in this community as anybody. So a tough one. All right, let's get into the show. This one's for Tim, so we'll dedicate this entire show to him.
No, definitely.
All right. So we'll get into a newer book, Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, #1. This is the thank you variant. I got to be honest, I am a huge fan of this book. There was a lot going for it. I think it's a great rendering of Gwen. Her sneakers in this one, I think, her masterfully done. The dark lip gloss also looks really cool. The portal opening from where it is provides a really interesting perspective. And as I think more about these store thank you variants, right? Whether they're one, whether they're two, it's like one per account typically, right? In the grand scheme of Marvel Comics, these are super low printed books. They're not 300, obviously. They're probably somewhere between 2,500 and 5,000, probably somewhere in that range. I don't know for sure. But if you think about that for Marvel comic books, those are relatively low. These aren't books that you could order, right? So these aren't books that you could play games with by ordering so many copies of something else. These were literally given out. And I think over time, we're going to see these books command more interest. I don't know if they're going to go crazy in price, but I think people may recognize that these aren't so easy to come by over time. And anyways, this one I really liked. It kind of got hot last week, and I don't know. This one works for me. I know not everybody feels the same way, but there's something pretty cool about it.
So it's so crazy too. Like I was reserving books over the phone that Wednesday it came out. So like my shop, like you can say like, hey, after 30 minutes after they open, you can call them and say like, hey, do you have this book, this book, this book? And they'll put it in your box for you to pick up. And so one of the covers they were describing was Gwen falling backwards, with the cityscape in the background and all that. So I was like, oh, this must be that thank you variant that everyone's talking about. And they wanted $35 for it. Well, if you also remember, Lobo's book is exactly like that too, where Gwen's falling back and you see the cityscape and everything too as well. So I ended up getting the 1 in 50 for like $35, which wasn't a bad purchase either. I was just I was a little bit more upset that I missed out on this one.
Yeah, I mean, this one's not going for a lot. It's going for $20-25. But I don't know.
I heard it's polybagged.
If you can find these for cheap, I think they're smart grabs. But anyways, I like this one for whatever reason. I found one. I'm happy with it. Real quick, Kal-El, thank you for the $10 super chat. Much appreciated. By no means necessary, but thank you for the support. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So Timothy passed on this and picked up the Blood Hunt #2.
Oh man, well, that's a great trade-off. That Blood Hunt 225 is going for a ton. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it for like $50, $25, whatever you got it for, and then are flipping it. I mean, I sold my issue 1 in 25 red band. That's out the door. So
yeah, those red band books are going for big bucks. We could have talked about those, but
this cover like takes me back to like 80s comics, just the way it's done, and like it's got that old school vibe to it. Even though it's a modern book, it has that old school. I mean, you guys know what I mean? Like,
no, there's something going on, right? There's action going on. There's part of the story being told. I couldn't agree more, man. I think that's perfectly said.
It's like she's falling into a new universe or whatever. Because isn't this the book where she's back in 616?
Yeah, she comes into 616.
I think I know why stores are getting two. Like, I would assume they're getting it for having a diamond account and having a Random House account.
Yep, that's exactly it.
So I mean, that's happened for quite a few books now at this point. So I assume if like one didn't ship it last week, then the other, if you're ordering from both, then you probably got it another copy this week. And then I see a lot of people saying in chat that people are asking $45, $50. I mean, I wouldn't pay that much, especially if you can buy it on eBay for $20, $25.
Yeah, I mean that's the range that I think probably makes sense on this one. 50 is too much, but but over time these books are gonna be harder to come by, right? Because Spider-Gwen's collectible. It's gonna end up in collections, and these will dry up. I would think so. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about this one.
So Aaron, the one you got is the Virgin variant.
So the one I got is the Lobos cover. So let me find. I'll pull it up.
That's a good score. I like.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it from somewhere else as well. So now I have like two. I mean, I'm never complaining that I have more than one copy, right?
She looks a little bit. She looks a little bit more sure about falling backwards than this cover.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm not trying to advertise for anyone, but I'll put up a picture. Oh wait, crap, that's too big. All right, I'm not saying go to this website and buy it, but they have it. All right, and then $100 is way too much. Yeah. So this is the 1 in 50 Lobos. I got it for $35, so I'm not complaining at all. But definitely a good cover. Oops. I meant to do this.
All right. Get in some Golden Age goodness here. Submariner number 28. This is a Ken Bald cover. Legendary Golden Age artist. 9.2 on this thing, sold for $26,000 back in 2021. Big bucks. Only 36 of these on the census. Obviously, no 9.8s. There's just something really awesome about this cover. There's something about this cover also. This is a niche that I collect that I don't talk about really ever, but whatever. I'll disclose it tonight. There's a lot of books, for whatever reason, where the word bubble is in pink. And whenever I see one, I grab it. No, I don't have this book, obviously, but that's going on here. But you'll probably notice it now that I brought it up. And a lot of them are older books where, for whatever reason, the word bubble's in pink. And that's not a Gwenpool thing, or maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know.
I was going to ask you that if you started that before or after you started collecting Gwenpool.
It was probably after, but I don't honestly know. I would almost certainly say after. But anyways, it exists
before or after Bubblegum.
I can't even connect the dots on that one, man. That's you're tangling too much.
So a pink word balloon is a glorified bubblegum cover.
Yeah, I mean it is a glorified bubblegum cover, I suppose. But now that I pointed out, you will see them more often than you probably recognized in the past, because there's a lot of books, particularly older ones, where they used a pink word bubble for whatever reason.
Bro, you keep taking us to school, Ben. Jesus Christ, man. That would have been the last thing I would have noticed. I mean,
there's a lot else to notice on this one. I would agree, Joe. I would agree.
You're probably a very detailed guy in just life. You're driving by somebody. Oh, that guy had a booger. It's just like,
So I know who to blame when I get into niche collecting now. Anytime I start collecting something new, I'm going to be like, Ben, like, now I have a long box full of just like people smoking cigarettes covers and
that's me, man. Tony smokes. That's his thing, man. That's not mine. Cigarette smoking, I believe that's Tony's thing. So yeah. Anyways, but this book is amazing. Carter, were you aware of this one?
Sort of, kinda. I'm sure I've seen it before, but I've just never, had eyes on it though.
Yeah, just the irreverent humor in this one just kind of gets me. So
look at the gams.
And you see that price tag now, you're kind of like, impressive. All
right. What else do we got? All right. So Danger Girl number 2. We're talking about the platinum foil variant tonight. So the most famous version of this book is the ruby red version, where the trade dress is in red foil. But this one is equally as hard to get, I would say. It was limited to 1,000, as legend has it. Can't verify that, but that's what they say. A 9/8 sold for this recently for $1,100, which is definitely respectable. 94 in the census, only 34 in 9.8. But a very difficult book to come by. They've used this cover a number of different times. There's a regular trade dress that's easier to get, and then it was a reprint on the Revolver series, I believe. But this one is very, very tough to come by, the platinum. There's fewer of these on the census, but I can't. I suppose the ruby red is less, given that it goes for a little bit more, but I can't get a great print count on that one.
Ooh, have we talked about
this one's on the list, bro?
It's on your want list?
It's on the list.
Have we talked about this one? Daryl's asking, have we talked about the Spider-Gwen #1, the 1 in 25 Bradshaw variant, where it's the
I don't think so on this version of the show, Daryl. If you hit me up on IG, I'll throw it on for next week for sure. I'm a big fan of that book. You know, that homage has been overdone, but I thought Bradshaw did a great job.
Yeah, that one's very tasteful done. I remember I bought a 9.6 back in the day for $60. I was proud of that one.
If you can just drop me a DM on IG, I'll take a look at it and I'll put it on next week. Just don't let me forget.
Liger, we are spying on you. So if you've been to any of the shows I've been on, you now have a virus on your computer, and I can view all your browsing history. And all of y'all are nasty, nasty people.
Hey, Michael, you got the platinum version of this one. That's awesome. Congrats. That's a great score.
And let's make a trade, bro.
Carter, tell us the story.
I'm trying to think. I think it was at I want to say it was at a convention that he bought that book. I think that's what I remember, recall. Yeah.
Nice. Mike, do you remember what you paid for it? Just out of curiosity, if you don't mind sharing it with the group.
And then Igor is asking Hood if you have all the different versions, or do you have any of the versions?
No, because
they all do really well.
Yeah.
The regular trade dress is the easiest one to come by, but $100. Damn, man, congrats. Good score, man. Well done. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Anyways, this is one of the more famous Campbell covers.
Oh wow. A C note.
I mean, was this the one that really put him on the map? I mean, he's had a lot of great covers, but I feel like this is always, just because of that ruby, that it's almost like legendary status, you know?
Oh, it's totally legendary status. Did it put him on the map? That's such a difficult question.
Yeah, because he was already popular. I think, man, just the smoke coming out of the gun is freaking badass, dude. You know, it's just...
I mean, anytime I think of Danger Girl, I'm going to think J. Scott Campbell. Mm-hmm. I have that association, but I don't know if it put him in the stratosphere, if that makes sense.
I think it was that Black Cat cover, the pink Black Cat cover, that really put him at a different level, to be honest with you. Like, that literally set him as the top tier artists. That Amazing Spider-Man Presents #1, Black Cat. I think that was the book because that was his first time doing Felicia. I think that was the book that just kind of set him off. But he was obviously respected, but I think that one may have been the one that put him in the the upper echelon.
Yeah, I'd be freaking shocked if I ever found this in the wild, because like you look at this book and how could you put it back? You know what I mean? Like, quit collecting comics if you ever thought of putting this back. You know,
you're in the wrong game if you're putting this one back.
Man. Like, if you don't know anything about anything and you pick this book up, it's like, this is not supposed to be here. You know?
Yeah, really good one. All right, let's keep the show rolling. Damn, this is a hard book. Fables number 6. This is a James Jean RRP variant, retail round table retailer program variant. The rumor is that this was limited to 200. Sometimes you hear 100, but I think 200 is the respectable number to use. A 9.8 sold back in 2020, so we're coming up on 4 years ago for $662, which is very respectable. 78 on the census, 20 in 9.8, and this is a legit ghost. I've never seen this book in the flesh.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the, I mean, Fables was a big popular series, but these RRP books at this point in time just kind of took on a life of their own. And this was one from that vintage where you had Saga and Batman, Fables. It was that whole era.
So the last time I went to the only time I went to the Diamond Retailer Summit, I grabbed a bunch of books, like, because they were free. And then, like, whatever didn't sell that first month or whatever, I just kind of bagged them all up and then, put them in the box. And I plan to find them, like, 10 years from now or whatever, when Diamond doesn't exist. It's my plan, at least. Because, I mean, like, they're barely doing, like, retailer summits anymore and all that.
Yeah. Joe says you should rename the show Books Doc Doesn't Own. That's the goal, man. We just want to throw shit out there that people aren't seeing or talking about. So God bless if nobody has these. So
Ooh, there's some people with them. Sandusky has 1 out of the 4.
All right, let's keep the good times going. All new Wolverine number 14, Lionel Francis Yu 1 in 25. I just recently grabbed this book from Mel V. Hadn't seen it in years, and he was selling it. A 9.8 sold for $130 back in March of 2023. Only 45 of these on the census, most of them in 9.8. But yeah, just a badass X23 cover. Shout out Bruce.
Yeah, it's a cool book. Like I remember this book when it came out, and like I kind of didn't like it, and now seeing it again, it's like now I kind of want it,
Yeah, I always liked this one. I couldn't find it when it came out, but I didn't forget about it. X23 isn't necessarily a character that I collect, but when Mel was selling this, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna grab it. I don't see this book ever.
I think I had this book. I forget if I still have it or not, but I'm probably like it. But I remember, I remember too, Joe, when this came out. But I liked it like right out the gate and made sure to secure a copy. There's something
you
about
find
that.
it in the wild. Did you have to buy it online somewhere?
Gosh, man, I think I might have got it off of Midtown or something like that. But I knew like that pink background, that hot pink background. I knew it was gonna be a hit.
So I recently bought a full run of all new Wolverine issues 1 through 28, and it's like one of those package deals where it's a brick, right, of all of the full run. And then on the front, the first cover, issue 1, was the 1 in 20 design variant or something like that, or is that a 125?
1 in 20, maybe.
Yeah, 1 in 20, something weird like that. And then it said there's a bunch of variants in there, so I was like, okay. And it's from the shop that's closing down, and they had the price tag of $200 on it, and they took off was it 50%? No, it was 60% because I got it for $80.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and so I was like, kind of like, I don't even care what variants are in there. Let me just buy the whole thing because I've been eyeing this book anyways. And so I was looking through it. I was like, maybe it'll have something crazy for issue 2 for first appearance of Gabby. The only book that was very notable on there was the one where it's Laura and Honey Badger sleeping on the couch together on issue 7.
Yeah, that's a good book.
Yeah. So that was probably the best variant that was out of there. But there was a total of like 8 variants out of the whole run. The rest of it was just A covers. So I was like, kind of like, cool.
Yeah, it's a good score. Anyways, yeah, just a really, a book that worth grabbing if you see it out there digging for an attractive price, no question. And if Laura shows up in the Deadpool movie and they do something with her in the MCU, I mean, it's a character that could have big appeal if executed correctly. So, anyways,
the real sleeper is issue 1. The local comic shop day 1.
Oh yes,
yeah.
We should feature that book. Remind me. We'll put it on next week.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it later in the week.
This book cracks me up, but this is obviously an homage to Batman and Robin. But this is a Tom Rainey 1 in 10 variant. I mean, a 9.8 of this sold for $186 for 1 in 10. Earlier this year, which is super respectable.
Dude, that is so crazy, dude. I bet you they redo that scene in the movie, man.
62 on the census, 46 and 9.8. But yeah, this is a great book if you can find it. Only a 1 in 10, but does real well. Anybody have this one? I gotta admit, I've dug forever. I've never seen this book digging ever.
Docking because it's real quiet in Minnesota right now.
I'm like 80% sure I have this book, but yeah, I don't remember how much I bought it for. I definitely found it at a con. So I want to say I paid like either $10 or $20 for it, maybe.
Hey, heroes. I think, it hasn't been official confirmed, but I think all signs are pointing that she is showing up in the new Deadpool movie. So we'll see.
Okay.
King of the Golden State has one, and so does who else said they had one? They call me Bruce.
Not surprised, Bruce. Not surprised in the least.
Right?
I hope this movie's great and we come out of the theater saying like we're fucking back. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm gonna have a low bar set, no expectations, no higher than a Fox movie. That's my expectations right now. And so if it's better than that, then I'll be
pleasantly surprised. Nothing wrong with that, man. If you set your expectations low, only beat to the upside. So
exactly.
I paid a lot of money for my tickets, dude. My expectations are pretty high, bro. Like
I think
you're going to a dollar movie,
and I think it'll deliver. I think Ryan Reynolds is such a perfectionist that he's not going to let it be a shitter. So we'll see. All right, let's. What's next?
Ooh,
all right, it's beautiful.
Good,
Scarlet Witch number 3 by Saya Oum, 1 in 25. A 9.8 sold for this book way back in 2021 for $300. A mere 28 on the census, 23 and 9.8. But just a beautiful looking Scarlet Witch book.
Man, that's good. Damn it.
Yeah, this is when she was getting a lot of work. What has she done recently, though? Like,
we talked about it. Like, her work has been kind of sparse. I mean, but I don't know what's up. I mean, she's got to be doing something else, or maybe doing some work for another company, or other than comics, or something like that. Because she was pumping out covers for Aspen.
Marvel was featuring her like a ton for Aspen. a bunch from Marvel, and then nothing recently. I don't want to say.
Look it up, Aaron.
I'm looking up.
Let's go to the guy in the chair, man. Let's go to the guy in the chair.
All right, so she has stuff coming out on her official store. It looks like she's done TMNT, Lady Mechanica.
Okay, I guess I just haven't been paying attention because I don't recall.
And then that was 3 weeks ago. And so her website is siyaoum.com.
All right, good stuff.
Yep. So, there we go. So Sebastian knew what was up. But yeah, give her a follow on IG as well. It's
yeah, get her off of TNT. Have her do a Baroness, dude. Like, bro, that's a waste.
She teamed up with Stash Loot on something 3 weeks ago. So whatever con was going on during that time period.
Bro, get her to do a Baroness cover, man.
Well, it looks like she did.
Fire.
She did a Transformers book too recently for issue 1.
All right, I guess I haven't been paying attention, but yeah, she kicks ass, and this is a good looking book.
Oh, she's selling
300 is respectable. Now, granted, that was pandemic pricing, so we haven't seen a sale recently, but regardless, 300 is a good price.
Yeah, I mean, if you can sell a painting for $10K, I really doubt you're dabbling in comics anymore or that much. It's like, ooh, get 3,000 for a comic or 10K for one painting.
I mean, that's a really good cover, man. So
yeah, I think it's really well done. Agreed, Joe. All right, let's keep the show going.
Woof. I've got
I thought we'd spoken about this book, but I couldn't find anything about it, so I put it back on the show. Or if we have, somebody call me out on it. But anyways, Black Widow #1 from 2016. Beautiful Tula Lote 1 in 25. A 9.8 from this book only sold for $100 back in 2021. So we haven't seen a sale on this in a while. Only 21 on the census, 16 and 9.8. I love Black Widow covers, and this is one that has long eluded me. I don't have this one.
Yeah, I mean, I got this one, and just the font on the "Don't Fall Into Her Web" is cool as shit. And I don't know if it's homaging something like a movie poster or what, but like Tula's early work, and I'm like not early, but like from 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, I look at it now, and the shit's badass, man. Like I picked up the Spider-Man variant with Black Widow hanging upside down. I mean, Black Cat hanging upside down, and
with the martini glass.
Yeah, I mean, she's got some slick, cool covers, man.
Yeah, she's starting to pick up some steam. She's always been really good, for me anyway. And yeah, this is one like I said, I love Black Widow covers. And I've never gotten hands on this one.
So I had her work on a commission for me at MegaCon one year. Yeah, so she was really cool to meet. First off, like no line, like her English accent's awesome as well. On top of that,
Sly Dog, man, look at you.
So Aaron. And she's as edgy as it gets with some of her covers, man. I mean,
but yeah, like with her art style and how edgy she is, like. When you meet her in person, it doesn't line up. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like the English accent and the way she's dressed and stuff like that. She's like really well put together.
She's prim and proper.
Right, exactly. But then it's like kind of like, but then you see her art and you're like, oh wow, you have a totally wild imagination, and that's amazing.
Yeah, Funhouse. She did do issue #2, the 1 in 25, which is bananas. But yes.
Yeah. So anyways, whenever I picked up the commission, CGC put it in the banker bags they were using for a while for witness signatures and art like that. So I didn't see all the details until I got the commission back in the slab. Like she put blood splatter all over it, and it was really subtle. so it would like didn't overpower over her commission because it was something that's killing the children. She did it. Yeah, so she did Erica cover for me.
Was it real blood, bro?
Maybe. She did pump it out pretty fast. So
right? She didn't mean to do it. She cut herself. Shit.
I don't know. She was wearing long sleeves after that. No,
Do I like this one more than Noto? I don't know. I'm a big Phil Noto fan. The Noto that I really like, I think it was issue from this series, issue number 2, where she's in the scuba gear, but the second print. I really like that book a lot. It was 2 or 3. I can't remember. One of my favorite Black Widow covers.
I like her Department of Truth covers a lot.
Yeah. Her Faithless covers, as a few people have pointed out, are they'll blow your hair back a little bit if you're not careful. All right, another Black Widow cover. I really like this book. It's kind of obscure. So this is from 2016. This is a 1 in 15 by June Brigman. I like this book. You have obviously modern Natasha, but then her back in the fishnet ridiculous kind of Silver Age outfit as well. And this book doesn't necessarily go for a lot, but it's not the easiest book to come by. And there's just something about this one that I like.
I mean, it just looks so odd. It looks expensive. You know what I mean? It's just. Yeah,
I mean,
this is a book you don't come across that often, man.
Yeah, issue 7 wasn't being heavily ordered. These 1 in 15s were done to kind of edge stores just to buy a few more issues because they're maybe buying 10. If we get them to buy 15, that'd be great. I don't know. There's just something I dig about this one. Like I said, it doesn't go for crazy money, but it's one of those ones that could sneak up on you over time if you're not paying attention.
Sweet.
All right. This is another June Brigman 1 in 15.
Wow.
I didn't know about this book. I stumbled across it looking up the Black Widow. A 9.8 of this sold for just $40 back in 2021. Only 3 graded, 2 and 9.8. But just a similar kind of vibe. People love to collect Scarlet Witch, and I just thought I'd throw this one on there. I hadn't seen it before.
You don't have that one, Ben?
I don't have. Do you have
Man,
it?
that is fucking good, dude.
I like it. Yeah, I do dig it, but I don't have this one, man.
Wow.
Doc Joe, I've been saying Hood can press a book for like 4 years now at this point. Just saying.
Still waiting on grades, Doc. I checked it earlier, man. Got grades yet, man.
You ever grab this one, Carter? You ever see this one?
Probably I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure I passed it up.
Yeah, it doesn't go for a whole heck of a lot. The more I looked at it, the more I dug it.
I like the abstract.
There's something kind of cool about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, June Brigman isn't necessarily a huge name, but these books are harder to come by.
So if I didn't see the Scarlet Witch and I just looked at the background and you told me that this was a Tula Lote cover, it wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that totally.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep the show rolling tonight. All right, Ultimates number 2, number 1. This was a big book during the pandemic. This is the Mike Diodato 1 in 10. Last sale sold for $78. Sorry, that was back in not 54. That was in May, just recently. But this book sold for a high of $350 back in the day. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think the actress they've got playing America Chavez in the MCU is pretty appealing. I think she could be a hit. This is one of America's best covers, in my opinion. only 90 on the census, 51 and 9.8. But I think it's just a good looking book, and as prices have come down, one might be worth grabbing.
I got this book.
I remember when it was the Superior Iron Man with the AI Tony.
Yes.
It was great. I remember my shop had this in their back issue bin, and I had passed on it, and then the news came out, so I went back that same week to try to find it, and then I had passed it over, and I was like, kind of like, because I knew he had it for only like $4 or $5, and I was like, kind of like, I want to buy it so I could flip it, and then, but then my store owner was looking through his back issue bins because someone else had bought it online, and I was like, and he's like, I was like, because when I saw him pull it, I was like, oh, have you seen how much that book is going now for? And he's like, no. I was like, it's going for a pretty hefty price tag, like way higher than what you have it on there. And then he was like, okay, thanks for the heads up. And then I guess he canceled that person's order, and then it was on the
right,
wall.
Aaron. If I can't have it, nobody will.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
I mean, that's
yeah.
awesome, Aaron.
Well, I wanted my store to survive, and it did for
Nah.
while.
Come on, man.
I want to flip it too, so
Right. It's like,
Yeah.
man, I ain't
But-
gonna get that book. Hey, bro, that book's worth a lot of money, man. Right?
yeah,
Don't sell it.
yeah. I mean, but with that being said, I do like all these 1 in 10s.
Totally,
Because
the
it's-
Diodato, all of them are really worth grabbing, to be honest with you. But this one goes for big bucks, and it's harder to find than you'd think for a 1 in 10 for an issue number 1. I don't know why. It's just one of those books that it's harder to get hands on for a 1 in 10.
Diodato is so underrated. For the heights that we put current artists, right? We got Peach up there, and and like Campbell, but we never talk. Diodato's got some sneaky good books, man.
Oh, crazy good books. Totally. Yeah, this was I missed it. So, all right. I just saw this thing. I hit Carter up about it. I'm like, have you ever seen this, man? And this book, I don't know why I love this. 30 Days of Night Again, number 4, a David Furno 1 in 10 variant. Couldn't find any sales information on this. No graded information on this, but I don't know. There's something about this that I think is just really kind of badass.
It is good.
I like this.
Has anybody ever seen this before, ever? Like, I mean,
Hell no, man. I mean, this is. I like the color palette. I love the blue and stuff, and then just the splatter. Maybe. Man,
Blood around
it was a retailer incentive. Retailer incentive too.
Yeah, 1 in 10 retailer incentive. Yeah.
IDW 1 in 10. It doesn't exist.
Right. Oh shoot! I thought this was a Ben Templesmith cover.
Kind of has that vibe for sure. For
Mhm.
sure. The blood around her mouth. She just killed someone. Like, it's just kind of badass. I don't know. There's just something about this that I thought was nice.
It's like-
That's the way to do it. $1. Well done.
It looks like and happy birthday, Mike. It looks like it was a sketch, and then someone like rushed in and put it in colors and it's like, let's put it to press. But I mean, it looks more talented than that.
Wow, I've never seen this book.
All right, this one's all Carter.
Clockwork, right?
Yeah. So I was gonna put this in Ghost category, but then I saw 2 copies online that were available. So this is Angel 25. I believe this is I think this is a 1 in 25 variant. And is this Charisma Carpenter's character in Buffy? I don't know.
The only thing I noticed about this was like This is a Clockwork Orange homage.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the only thing that really attracted me to this, and I found it the other day, and it took like a few days to find anything, to find like because there aren't any copies on there aren't any copies on eBay, but there are at least 2 available online if you dig deep enough for like $10 and $6 a piece.
Ooh, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Go
Yeah.
dig deep.
You gotta dig, and but yeah, this is a good cover. And you know, I was telling Mr. Longshort that a lot of these Buffy covers don't go for a lot, and I don't know, they're like really good looking covers.
Oh yeah, and they're great
Striking.
artists like Frizen, and I mean they've you go out there and it's like, man, why aren't these worth anything? If ever we've become like cover collectors now, you know, and it's just like if you see a great cover, even if it has Angel on it or Buffy, I'd scoop it up if it's got a prominent artist.
Mm-hmm.
This might be one of those books that fall in the category of books that are so rare they're worthless kind of thing. Like nobody sees it, it doesn't sell, it doesn't trade hands enough, so it just kind of sits price unrecognized a little bit. So
Dang, the one website that I thought off the top of my head real quick to dig deep for weird incentives that didn't have it.
The store that I thought I saw this in, I haven't gotten back to yet. I was trying to go Wednesday. I got stuck at work, so I'm going to try to go tomorrow. So I think they had a big, long box of Angel, a lot of variants. I think this was in there. I got to get back there, though.
Mm-hmm. But good cover. Oh, and the census on this book. There's only 1 copy on the census, and it's a 9.0.
Wow.
Of all the grades. It's just a single 9.0.
Yeah, this is a good find. I like this. All right. This was a user submission from Kal-El on IG who gave the super chat tonight, so thank you very much. There is not a lot of information about this book. This is Lady Mechanica number 0. This was a limited edition. This is called a partial sketch cover. I don't know what part of it sketched, but it was limited to 200. I couldn't even verify the artist on this, but obviously a Wolverine number 1 homage. And a really, really cool looking book. I'm a huge Lady Mechanica fan. It's an IP that I think is underappreciated, and I'd never seen this one before. So thank you, Kal-El, if you're still in the chat.
So yeah, he definitely bribed us $10 to put the book on the list tonight.
It's a good cover, man.
Yeah.
You know, we always talk about homages that aren't done really well. This one's done good.
Yep. I don't disagree with that statement.
I don't usually like homages for this book. I just think they don't work. But this one is well done.
Yeah, I like how it still stays within the steampunk element to it. And then, yeah.
CGG just called it's a 9.9. All right. Let's get into some late printings. Batgirl number 13, Ed Benez's third print. A 9.8 sold for this back in 2022 for $32. High sale was also in 2022 for $150. A mere 9 of these on the census, 7 in 9.8, and just a book that I like, and I like the late printing on this one. Tough to find the third. The second not so hard, but the third much more difficult.
I think this is the cover artist from the last book.
It was Ed Benez. Was that right?
Really?
I don't know.
Not plan that, but that's pretty cool if that's how it played itself out.
I think I got this book. Ed Bennis's run on Birds of Prey is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I would imagine that you'd have this one, Carter.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it kicking around.
Oh, come on. You know you got it, dude.
I actually, you know what, man? This is so long ago, and I get rid of so many like books that I don't know. I might have this thing.
All right, what do we get next? Another second print. I couldn't find any of these on the census. X-Men #3 from 2010. This is a Paco Medina's second print. A very tough book. A very tough book to find. But great Wolverine cover. Yeah, I couldn't find any graded or recent sales data on this one, but I know for a fact it's harder to come by.
I'd never seen this cover.
When I first looked at it, I was like, is he missing an arm? Is that her thigh?
Yeah.
No, man, he's just bending it. Come on.
Yeah.
He got
and then yeah. And then I realized, like, yeah.
Oh, bitch, what you do to me?
Yeah, this is a real tough book. One that you could find. This is the exact kind of book you can find digging into random long boxes. So, anyways, just keep an eye open for it.
I'm sure of it, but I've just never seen this cover. Like, I've seen the books from this X-Men run. Like, a few of them are on my want list, but I've never seen this freaking cover.
Yeah, me neither.
Damn.
Anytime I find second prints in that 2008 to,
gobble them up. Don't even think twice. Just grab the goddamn thing and put it in your stack, man. Like,
if it's cover price or less, like I'm just picking it up just because I'm like, kind of like, you don't see these.
Yeah, don't overthink it for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Slots #1, a damn Panosian second print. Only 3 of 3s on the census. I like the vibe of this cover. Panosian is criminally underappreciated, doing some great work recently, but a book you don't always see, but has a fantastic vibe to it.
Yeah, that is cool. I like it.
Anybody ever come across this one?
Man, I feel like I've seen this book before, man. And I don't know if it was at an LCS or... Man, but if it was in a backman, I would have picked it up. I know I would have. I mean,
it looks like some sort of alcohol ad or like a show flyer where it's like second show added.
Yeah,
that's a great way to announce a second print, though, right? Second show ad. I mean, it's just clever. Like the whole
right? Cover. Yeah, it's very tasteful instead of like just labeling a second print or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Joe, you're killing me, man. They got the vowel wrong.
The what? What did he say?
He said it looks like they got the vowel wrong.
Slots.
Yeah, that's when I first saw it. I thought the same thing, and I was like, kind of like, I thought about putting this as a thumbnail, and I was like, kind of like, I don't want to get in trouble, like because someone thinks it says something
right.
else.
He just paints the U. Right. We can't print that book. All right. I'll cover the U. That's cool. Oh, the second print, man. God damn it.
So this book has eluded me for fucking ever. Carter, I know you have this one. I saw it was in your pickup videos at one point.
Yeah.
All New Ghost Rider #1, the Tradmore second print with the white on the bottom just goes so well with this cover. I-98 sold for $154 late in 2023. Only 73 in the census, 29 and 9.8. But this is very elusive, this second print. Big time. You still have a card, or did you dump it?
Oh, I still got them.
You still got it.
You got them? You got a couple of them?
I believe. Yeah.
I'll trade you a couple #1s for a second print, dude. I got 40 of them. I got 40 first prints, no second prints.
Oh, jeez.
I hunted this for a long time. I've seen it for prices I wouldn't pay, but it's a tricky one, man.
Yeah, it's almost like they knew what they were doing because like the blues on the second print just like work, and then they put a white on this one and it just works. Like it makes the book look more expensive, you know.
It looks so much more sharp than the red in the original one. It really pops on this one.
Yeah,
and I know it sounds like a ridiculous like detail, like who gives a shit what the freaking color at the bar at the bottom is, but I'm telling you, man, like the second print is sharp.
All right, real quick, let me show this. Michael just sent this to me on IG, so here's his picture of the alternate cover for the Danger Girl.
damn.
They got for a C note.
Wow,
Impressive.
put that book in a Mylar, bro.
He's in a top loader, it looks like. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
all right, Carter, I think this was yours, man.
Yeah. WildC.A.T.s number 28. Sean Phillips cover. Yeah, there's not too much I know about it. That's voodoo on the cover, right?
Yeah.
that's Mama on the cover, bro.
Not too much.
It's a great tattoo, man.
Yeah, man. Not too much to say about it. Yeah, this was before like tattoos were really a thing. Because she had that like in the early 90s. This character before like tattoos on chicks were a thing.
How come no tattoo? All right, sorry.
Well, it doesn't go for anything, but I always go with if the chick is hot and the cover is if and the art is well rendered. And this is this checks all the boxes for me.
Man, it's rendered all right, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. That's a good buying philosophy you got there, Carter. I mean, that usually works well over time. So
Hey, that's a good one, Derek. Like the girl with the dragon tattoo.
But he
She
wrote
didn't
the
look like that
dragon
in
with
the
the girl
movie, man.
tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't
That
think
is
I've
cool.
seen a dragon with a tattoo before.
tough on those scales, man. Tough to tattoo those scales. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if like traditional ink would like stick to that. Anyways, oh, I do have this one.
Hey, what's going on, Derek?
This is a tough book. I mean, people ask a lot for this now. So, Street Fighter Sci-Fi and Fantasy Special #1. This is a Derek Chu variant.
It's worth money now.
And dude, look what they're asking on this thing on eBay. It's nothing less than $125. I don't think.
Dude, I think the buy-in for this was only like $30.
Dude, there's nothing on eBay for less than $125 raw for this.
Crazy.
9.8 sold for 173 earlier this year. Only 60 on the census. Most of those were 9.8, as you'd expect. But yeah, some of these Street Fighter books are reaching crazy prices, and then this one is up there. I mean, am I wrong? Did you check on eBay? I don't think there's anything less than 25 on this.
Yeah, let me look real quick. Let's see.
Derek Chu's been killing it this year, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a huge Derek Chu fan, and yeah, he's just finding a new level.
So, whatchamacallit just came out too, Street Fighter 6. I assume that has plenty to do with it as well. Let's see. I forgot there was also the Ariel Diaz Chung Li cover too.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
Oh man! Oh wow! Someone's asking 300 for the one that we're showing on screen right now.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. This book right here, you can the asking prices on this are bananas.
Yeah, so like $300. I probably should have wrote Cammy. 250. 250. Wow. Okay. I can't remember if I have more than one.
Well, if you do, I'm buying one because I don't have this goddamn book, and it's out of my price range now. So,
I'll definitely give you a bite.
What? Someone had it for $4.99. Wow. Man, you're going through the pictures like McClay does, real super fast, so you can't see, Aaron. Cut
Oh,
it
my
out.
bad.
Like Brian will scroll real super fast. Oh, that's a good book. That's hey, slow down, bro.
Ooh, a 99 for 1,000.
A 9.9. Oh yeah.
For
You
the
seen the
Kumko.
stats on 9.9s this year?
They're everywhere, man. Every book you submit's a 9.9.
Yeah, there's only like what? There's not even that many on eBay either.
No,
I mean,
they're
I get-
all crazy. Like 125, I guess that was the price I was dreaming about because there's nothing less than 250, right?
Unless like people have been buying them too. Would be a guess. Like,
Buying up the cheap ones.
yeah, buying up the cheap ones, and because I mean now we're looking at sold, right? I'm not seeing it. Yeah, like 91 bucks when went to auction.
In an auction.
Yeah. 172. Was that the 98 that we reported on?
I don't know if I picked up on that one or not.
Ooh, someone's dog is snoring. That's awesome.
That's my dog. She's down
Well,
here.
She sounds well rested.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. If it's ruining the show, I can wake her up.
Oh yeah, right.
No,
people,
no,
"Ah,
it's-
shut that dog up.
No,
Right.
it's cute.
It's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
All right. What do we have next? All right. This is an interesting book. Dark Fantasies #1. This is a Lindner test print. It was limited to 3,000. So this test print had a different trade dress, and on the copy they ultimately released, there's a little. It's not a UPC, but it was something where the UPC would be. I have it actually on the next slide. Now, of these test prints, they actually had 1,000 that were signed and numbered. Now, this is the copy that's plentiful. You can find them. But those test prints, they're out there. They don't go for the crazy money when you find them. But I feel like it's kind of a slept on book a little bit. Lindner is probably an appreciated artist in the current environment. But these are kind of obscure books worth keeping an eye open for. If you're digging, this is the plentiful one. The one I showed before. The one that the slide prior to this was the one that is much harder to come by. It was only limited to 3,000.
Ben, I think when I bought that Lindner lot, it was like a long box of just all Lindners with those ghost books in there and stuff. Just I guess the guy just was collecting nothing but Lindner, but I paid 50 cents each, right? I think I might have this book in there, dude.
Dude, take a look, man. Take a look. The more fancy trade dress is the less expensive one. That's whatever. It's a relatively cheap book. The other one goes for a bit more. And then there's the autograph on top of that.
What does the test print go for?
I mean, it's all over the place. I don't think anybody knows about it. Sometimes it gets people don't know what they have. It can go for 20. It can go for 50, right? But I think it's one of those books that people don't think about having. They'll just look it up and they'll see, oh, dark, and they won't necessarily look at why it's different. That little black box in the left corner isn't there. The trade dress is different, but the prices are all over the board for it. It's just one of those ones that I think are worth grabbing over time because I don't think people appreciate the differences in the rarity of it.
Yeah, and Lindner is now starting to get really recognized more so than he had been.
Well, he's come back. He's doing a lot more work, and I think people are starting to kind of reappreciate, how good his stuff was back in the 90s. In some ways, ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. This was our last book, but I do want to go back to our second slide again because we have a lot more viewers than we did at the beginning. So another big RIP to Tim or TiVo. So
yeah, we lost him this week. Shock to everybody in the community. He's been a huge member of the YouTube comic community for a very, very long time, an OG member. a real big loss, and we just want to send out our best wishes to his family, all of his friends, anybody who watched his channel, and he will be missed. He's part of the Cover Price family. He's been on our show before, and just a kind of a shocking loss. Came out of nowhere.
Puts everything into perspective. Life is so short, just appreciate every day and tell the people you love them. It's all you can do. I mean, this is just it's devastating for his family and everything. I mean, so young. I mean, it's just
well.
Yeah,
and then,
I mean, he was a bright light, man. I mean, his show, whenever you watched his shows, I mean, full of positive energy. A lot of fun. And will be sorely missed by me in particular. I mean, I enjoyed, he did shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My favorite show of the week was the Shaker show with Cover Price. He did that, and I wouldn't miss it come Friday morning. And huge hole in the community. So
yeah, and then we definitely wouldn't have gotten a big jump start without his push from his channel to the Nearing Nerdvana channel as well.
Yeah, I mean, he would after that show would end, he would push his viewers to our show. So we certainly appreciate that, and it's fucking crazy, to be honest with you, but the world's a messed up place. But rest in peace, Tim. You'll be missed, man.
All right, and then as a reminder, we have other great programs on the Nearing Nerdvana channel. So one of these Fridays, I'm sure there's going to be a Nearing Nerdvana again at some point in time. Saturday is Saturday Morning Toy Box. Monday is Cover Lovers. Tuesday is the show that started it all with Comic Book Women. Wednesdays is This Week in Geek, and you're back here with us on Thursdays. So big shout out also to our sponsors over at Cover Price. Make sure you're using the code Nirvana14 for a 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents. And then make sure you're signed up for the text line over at Bird City Comics. And then you can also use the code Nirvana for a 10% discount.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week. I've got to sneak off to Europe for some work here coming up, but that's not for a couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll be back next week. If you got books you want us to talk about, hit me up, hit Yee up, hit any of us up, and we'll make sure we get them on the show.
And then probably the week that Longshort is out, we will probably do our interactive pickup show again, because we haven't done that in a while.
That'd be cool. Oh yeah.
Well, I may have to pick up from Europe and hop on that show, because I always miss
there you go.
the show.
Or if you're watching live,
so
yeah, or you can send us pics and we'll show them.
I hope to dig while I'm out there. So if I find some good stuff, I'll try to submit them one way or another. So
all right. Also, if you haven't checked me out on Spec Media with Richie, make sure to go to our last Buy the Dip video. I am giving away this Essentia book. So all you have to do is comment on the last episode. And this is
what's the matter with you, bro? Don't give that away.
I mean, that Frank Miller could be worth $10.
Yeah.
So I'm giving this away because we just reached to 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, I had the J. Scott Campbell somewhere else. So
well, I got a Campbell coming to me. So
yeah, so I would say if you do win this, keep it sealed and sell it on eBay for $200. Don't rip it open unless you just want $50 for the Miller, or unless you do like the Miller. I don't know. That's just my suggestion.
Oh man, what a great looking dog, Ben. Look at that. Bro.
She's just a pup, son.
It's a puppy?
No, she's not a puppy. She's like 5 years old. She just woke up, so she doesn't know what's going on. But,
she did all that snoring. I thought that was a much bigger dog.
No, man, she's not that big, man. That's Cleo. That's Cleo.
Nice.
Man, we
Cool
didn't
looking
say
dog.
this was going to be a pet show, bro. Let me go
I know,
get
right?
my doggy.
I'm not waking up my dog because then he's too hyper. But yeah.
No, man. I mean, it's a great rack of books tonight, man. I was just like, wow, it's a good selection, man.
Yeah, fun show. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it.
And then Hood and I will be on the Hot 10 tomorrow night. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
I'm still looking for a fucking ugly book cover, man. Like everybody's like beating me to the punch now, and I'm getting pissed off. So like, when it bugged my buddy, I said, "Dude, I know you got some fucking ugly covers, dude." And he goes, "Dude, man, I don't even know." I go, "I need your help, bro." And then he tried to give me more of those damn zombie books or whatever. I said, "Nah, we already did that, dude. Find me a fucking. I know you got some fucking ugly covers in here, man." And people are just like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
I think any modern Frank Miller book will
Yeah,
do,
well,
right?
that one got ugly fucking book of the week.
you could
Last week.
submit the Wolverine one.
I
That
have a
one
sneaky
already
suspicion,
won,
though, that vintage of Miller, that vintage of like that ridiculous art, could catch on down the road at some point. I don't know.
Oh, come
why.
on, man.
I just it's one of those things where people just
Let me
like.
tell you, I was a kid and I told myself
I think
for
that's my
years that those Electra covers were awesome, and now I look at them and I go, they're not really that good. I think I was so caught up in the Dark Knight and the hype, and man, the shit is badass, and it's just like, no, it ain't. But he's an artist.
He had some great stuff back in the day. I don't want to. Miller changed the game in a lot of ways, so I'm not going to.
And I
No,
mean,
he's the
yeah.
father of modern comics. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh.
Yeah,
That's the way I
mean,
always
I
saw
don't
it,
want
'cause-
to. I don't want to kick a man when he's down, dude. Just
No.
punch him a little bit, but not kick him.
Alrighty.
All right.
I think this is where we're gonna call it quits. Y'all have a great night. Stay safe and go to your physicals and get checked out. So that's important. Take it easy.
Oh, so
Oh, go ahead.
how old is Sylvester? I believe she's about 13 or 14.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Now she wants to be put down and she wants to eat.
Oh, and then I forgot to ask, do y'all have Hot Box alert this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hot Book Alert Live is this Sunday, and also I believe I should have a haul video tomorrow morning.
I cannot join y'all this Sunday because
I'll be
my
there.
band is
I'll be there.
my band is playing.
Still
But-
surviving my spider bite, but I'm all right.
That's awesome.
Well, it's a good thing it wasn't a brown recluse or anything like that.
Man,
so.
I don't know, man. Shit, but it all it did, like, I know, is a little spider because it just started itching, and I was like, oh fuck, I got bit. by a
Oh,
spider.
yeah. And then McClay wants to know, and everyone wants to know when you're opening that dentist box. Saturday.
We could do it on Mayhem. You know what I mean? I'm well rested. I missed some podcasts last week, so
Yeah. So we'll say Saturday tentatively.
tentatively, yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next week.